My girlfriend texted, "I crashed your Lamborghini into a lake." Oops. My $380,000 car. I responded, "Accidents happen." Then I showed police the dash cam. She'd done it deliberately for Instagram clout with 2.4 million followers watching. When her sponsors dropped her and she got sued for the car's full value. Original post. I 29 male still can't believe I'm typing this. My now ex-girlfriend Sienna 24 just destroyed my life's biggest investment for Instagram views. And yeah, before anyone asks, I worked my ass off for that car. Started a software company at 22, sold it last year. The Lamborghini Huracan was my one stupid splurge. Got the text yesterday at 3:14 p.m. while I was in a meeting. "Babe, don't freak out, but I trashed your Lambo into the reservoir." Oops. Car's totally underwater. I'm fine though, already called insurance. My heart stopped, left the meeting immediately, hands shaking as I called her. Straight to voicemail, called again, nothing. Then I get an Instagram notification. She's live streaming. Title, "OMG, I just crashed my BF's Lambo." 2.4 million followers watching her stand by the reservoir. My car's taillights barely visible in the water. She's fake crying, but I can see her checking viewer count between sobs. Guys, I'm literally shaking right now. I was just trying to get a good shot for you all and lost control. My boyfriend's gonna kill me. The comments were insane. Hearts, crying emojis, queen content. This is why we stan. Insurance will cover it, babe. I texted back, "Accidents happen, just glad you're safe." Then I called my insurance company and the police and pulled the dashcam footage from the cloud. See, Sienna didn't know the Huracan had front and rear cameras that auto-upload. What I saw made my blood boil. The footage showed her setting up a phone mount on the dashboard, talking to the camera. "Okay guys, this is gonna be insane. Most viral moment of 2024 incoming." Then deliberately accelerating toward the reservoir barrier at 70 miles per hour, yanking the wheel at the last second, except she miscalculated. Instead of a near miss for content, she went straight through. The rear cam caught her swimming to shore, immediately pulling out her backup phone from a waterproof case and starting the live stream. This was planned. Update 1. The next day, police showed up at our apartment this morning. Well, my apartment that she'd been living in rent-free for 8 months. Sienna was doing her morning skincare routine on TikTok Live. "Babe, can you get the door?" she called out, ring light glowing. Opened it to 2 officers. "We need to speak with Sienna Rodriguez about the vehicle incident yesterday." She came out, still in her silk robe, phone in hand. "Officers, I already filed the insurance claim. Just a terrible accident." "Ma'am, we've reviewed the dashcam footage your boyfriend provided. We need you to come to the station." The way her face changed, from influencer smile to pure panic. "What footage?" "The footage showing you deliberately driving the vehicle into the reservoir while discussing it being viral content." Her live stream was still going. 50K people watching her get exposed in real time. Someone screen recorded it. It's already got 10 million views on Twitter. That's edited. "Babe, tell them." She turned to me, desperation in her eyes. I gave them the original files directly from the car's cloud storage, time-stamped, GPS tagged. "You're supposed to support me? I'm your girlfriend." "You destroyed my $380,000 car for views, Sienna." "It's just a car, and technically it's partly mine since I've been living here." The officers exchanged glances. "Ma'am, you need to come with us now." She tried to pull the tears card. "I'm an influencer. This is harassment, my mental health." They charged her with insurance fraud, reckless endangerment, and destruction of property over $100K. That's a felony in our state. But the best part? Her phone was still streaming. Her followers watched her get arrested. The comments went from supportive to savage in seconds. "Fraud queen. Imagine destroying $380K for clout. Boyfriend deserves better. Jail era incoming." By evening, she was out on bail. Her mom put up the money. Came back to the apartment, demanding I drop the charges. "Babe, it was just content. You know how hard it is to stay relevant. You committed multiple felonies, but I tag you in everything. Your business gets exposure through me. Pack your stuff. You have 24 hours. She laughed. Actually laughed. "You can't evict me. I have rights. You're not on the lease. You're a guest, and I'm formally ending your stay." She went nuclear on Instagram, posted a 10-slide story about toxic masculinity, financial abuse, and how I'm choosing a car over love. Tagged me in everything. My business, my employees, my family. Within hours, her narrative was spinning. She was the victim of a controlling tech bro who entrapped her. The car? Probably insurance fraud on his part. The dashcam? Deepfaked. Then her mom called me. Gloria, this woman, how dare you do this to my baby? She made a mistake. She deliberately destroyed my property, Gloria. She's an artist. Sometimes art requires sacrifice. Your daughter sacrificed my car for her art. You tech bros are all the same. No soul. That car means nothing to you. That car was 18 months of savings. Sienna has nothing. You have everything. The least you can do is not press charges. The least she could do was not commit fraud. I'll ruin you. I know lawyers. Cool. Have them call mine. Update 2. 72 hours later, the entitlement escalated beyond belief. First, Sienna tried to break back into the apartment at 2 a.m. Security footage caught her trying to use her old key. I'd already changed the locks, then attempting to climb the balcony. From the 3rd floor, in heels. Security called the cops. She told them she lived there and I was having a mental breakdown and locked her out. They asked for proof of residency. She showed them her Instagram photos taken in the apartment. Ma'am, that's not proof of residency. I have 2.4 million followers. Check my verified badge. They called me to confirm she didn't live there. She was trespassed from the property. Next morning, I wake up to my Instagram flooded with comments. She'd posted that I was holding her belongings hostage, including her work equipment, ring lights, and a phone tripod, worth thousands of dollars. I packed everything in boxes, took photos of each item, and left them with the building's concierge. Sent her one text. Your items are at the front desk. Do not contact me again. Her response? She showed up with a camera crew, hired an actual videographer to film her retrieving her things from her abusive ex. The concierge called me. Sir, she's refusing to take the boxes unless you come down personally so she can film the confrontation. Tell her she has 10 minutes to take them, or they go in the dumpster. She took them, but not before staging a breakdown in the lobby. The videographer looked embarrassed. The footage never got posted, probably because the concierge can be heard saying, Ma'am, this is the 3rd take. Please just take your boxes. Then came the legal escalation. Her mom actually found a lawyer, some ambulance chaser who sent me a letter demanding $50,000 for emotional distress, $100,000 for lost income due to reputational damage, $25,000 for wrongful eviction, return of the car insurance payout that hadn't even been processed yet, a public apology. My lawyer's response was beautiful. 1 page. Your client is currently facing felony charges for destruction of property and insurance fraud, captured on video. Any civil action would result in immediate countersuit for the full value of the vehicle plus legal fees. The dashcam footage has been provided to her insurance company, who will likely pursue criminal charges independently. We recommend your client focus on her criminal defense. But the peak entitlement came when she started a GoFundMe. Help Sienna fight back against tech bro abuse. The description was insane. Claimed I coerced her into dangerous stunts for my entertainment, that the car was a gift, it wasn't, and that she was now homeless and traumatized. Goal, $500,000. She raised $3,000 before GoFundMe yanked it for fraud. Those donors are now filing chargebacks. Update 3, 1 week later. Her sponsors started dropping her one by one. Fashion Nova was first, then Bang Energy, then the meditation app she'd been pushing. Each one posted statements about not condoning dangerous or illegal behavior. Her manager, yes, she had one, dropped her via email and CC'd me. Due to recent events and pending criminal charges, we can no longer represent Ms. Rodriguez. Please remove our agency from all legal correspondence. Sienna lost it, started a live stream titled The Truth About Everything. She admitted to planning the crash but claimed I knew about it. Said I encouraged her to do it for insurance money. Even said I provided the idea. Problem is, I was in a recorded Zoom meeting with 12 people when she crashed the car. My alibi is airtight. The insurance company saw the stream. They're now suing her for the full value plus investigation costs. That's $380,000 plus probably another $50K in fees. Her follower count started hemorrhaging, lost 800K in 3 days. The comments were brutal. Imagine ruining your life for a viral moment. This is what happens when clout is your currency. That tech bro X dodged a missile. Then something unexpected happened. The reservoir incident went viral on Reddit. Someone found her old content. Turns out she'd been faking pranks for years. Hired actors, staged reactions, the works. Her entire career was built on lies. BuzzFeed picked it up. Then Vice, then Rolling Stone, the rise and fall of Instagram's fakest influencer. Her mom called again, crying this time. Please just drop the charges, she's lost everything. She destroyed everything, Gloria. She's having a breakdown, she's talking about hurting herself. Then get her help. Real help, not Instagram therapy. You're heartless. I'm $380,000 poorer because your daughter thought felony destruction of property would get views. She loved you. She loved my car and my apartment and the lifestyle. She never loved me. How can you say that? Gloria, I found out through the dashcam audio. During her preparation for the stunt, she was on speaker with someone named Jaden. Quote, after this goes viral, I'll dump him and move to LA. Just need him for a few more months. Silence. She said that? It's all on tape. The prosecutors have it. Gloria hung up. Update 4. 2 weeks later, court date. Sienna showed up in an outfit clearly meant to look courtroom chic. Still thinking about the optics, the content, the angles. Her lawyer tried arguing it was a social media stunt gone wrong. The judge watched the dashcam footage, watched her preparation, heard her talking about doing it for viral fame. Miss Rodriguez, you deliberately destroyed someone else's property valued at $380,000 for social media content. Your Honor, influencing is my job. That wasn't my question. Did you deliberately crash the vehicle? I mean, yes, but for social media content? Yes. The judge looked disgusted. You endangered yourself, potentially others, destroyed property, and attempted insurance fraud for likes? Her lawyer tried damage control. Your Honor, my client is young. She's 24, old enough to know felony when she commits it. She pled guilty to reduce charges to avoid jail time. 2 years probation, 500 hours community service, $380,000 restitution to me, $50,000 in fines. No social media for the duration of probation. That last one broke her. She actually gasped. No social media? That's my career. Should have thought about that before committing crimes for content, Miss Rodriguez. But here's where it gets worse for her. The insurance company is pursuing a separate civil suit. They want their investigation costs, legal fees, and punitive damages. Her lawyer estimates she's looking at another $200,000 minimum. The IRS also got interested. Turns out, she hadn't been paying taxes on her influencer income. 3 years of unreported earnings. That's a whole different problem. Her apartment, a studio her mom co-signed for, is being evicted because she can't make rent. Her car, leased of course, got repossessed. Her entire life was built on a foundation of other people's money and fake content. Final update. 1 month later, Sienna's mom called one last time. Different tone now. Defeated. She's moving back home, to Iowa. Okay. She has nothing, has to work at her uncle's hardware store. Okay. She can't even have a phone with internet. Probation rules. That's rough. Are you happy? You destroyed her life. Gloria, she drove my car into a lake on purpose, on camera, while discussing doing it for content. You could have just let it go. Insurance would have covered it. That's fraud, Gloria. That's literally fraud. She's nobody now. Nobody. She's someone who has to face consequences. That's not nobody. That's everybody. Gloria hung up. My insurance finally came through. After subtracting depreciation and my deductible, I got $290,000. Not enough for another hurricane, but enough to move on. Started dating someone new last week. Rebecca. She's an accountant, drives a Toyota, doesn't have Instagram. When I told her about Sienna, she said, wait, she thought destroying a $380,000 car would make her more famous? Did she not understand how the internet works? Exactly. Last I heard through mutual friends, Sienna's working the register at her uncle's store in rural Iowa. No phone, no social media, no followers. Just scanning items and making change. Someone spotted her and tried to take a selfie. She had to explain she legally couldn't be in photos posted online. The girl who lived for content can't even be content anymore. Her last Instagram post before the court-ordered deletion has 2.8 million views. It's the arrest livestream. The comments are still coming. This aged like milk in the sun. Lamborghini 1, Clout Chaser 0. Imagine destroying your life, speedrun any set. Someone made a documentary. Netflix is interested. Working title, Going Viral, Going Broke, An Influencer's Downfall. They want to interview me. Thinking about it, the fee would cover my deductible. Oh, and plot twist. Jaden, the guy she was planning to move to LA with, he's dating another influencer now. Posted a TikTok about dodging bullets that went viral. Even he's profiting from her downfall. The Lamborghini? The salvage company pulled it out. Completely totaled. Engine flooded, electronics fried, frame bent. They scrapped it for parts. Someone bought the steering wheel on eBay for $500. The listing title, Steering Wheel from That Viral Lambo Crash. Even in death, my car is worth more than her career. I'm not happy about losing the car. Worked damn hard for it. But there's something poetic about someone destroying their entire life for 15 minutes of fame and ending up with neither fame nor life. She wanted to go viral? Well, she did. Just not how she planned. And me? I'm driving a leased BMW now. Full coverage, comprehensive insurance, and absolutely no passengers who have more than 10K followers on anything. Learned my lesson. Date women who are impressed by your character, not your car. Because character doesn't depreciate, and you can't crash it into a lake for clout. The restitution payments start next month. $500 a month for basically forever, given her current hardware store salary. Every payment notification is a reminder. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Or in her case, play stupid games, win felony charges, lose everything, and pay your ex-boyfriend $500 a month for the next 63 years. Worth noting, she tried starting a podcast from her mom's house called Cancelled But Not Broken. Got shut down. Podcasts count as social media under her probation terms. She literally cannot create content in any form for 2 years. The girl who needed attention like oxygen now legally cannot seek it. That's not revenge. That's just consequences. Beautiful, court-ordered, legally binding consequences. My girlfriend texted, "I gave your dog to a shelter. He shed too much." While I was at my father's funeral, I didn't respond. I just retrieved my dog, packed her belongings, and had her evicted for violating the lease. The dog was a registered ESA. When she came home to find the sheriff, original post I, 29 male, am sitting in my apartment with my dog Duke, sleeping next to me, still processing everything that happened this week. My dad passed away last Tuesday after a 2-year battle with cancer. While I was at his funeral on Friday, burying the man who raised me alone after mom died, my girlfriend Brittany, 27, decided it was the perfect time to get rid of my dog. The text came at 2:17 p.m., right as they were lowering the casket. "Hey babe, I took Duke to the shelter on Riverside. He was shedding too much, and you know my allergies. They said he'll find a good home." I didn't respond, couldn't. My uncle saw my face change and asked if I was okay. I just put my phone away and finished burying my father. Duke isn't just a dog. He's my registered emotional support animal, prescribed by my psychiatrist 3 years ago for PTSD and severe anxiety after I was in a bad car accident. He's literally documented as medical equipment. Brittany knew this. She'd lived with us for 8 months. After the burial, while everyone else went to the reception, I drove straight to the shelter. 45 minutes of pure panic thinking about Duke, who has separation anxiety and doesn't do well with strangers. The shelter staff was horrified when I explained. They immediately brought Duke out. He was shaking in a corner of a cage, wouldn't eat. The moment he saw me, he started crying. I'm not ashamed to say I cried too. Right there in the shelter lobby the day I buried my dad. "Ma'am said he was aggressive and you were deployed military," the shelter worker told me. "We almost put him on the euthanasia list for Monday." She lied. She told them Duke was aggressive, he's scared of butterflies, and that I'd abandoned him. 3 more days and my dog would have been dead. I took Duke to my truck, called my buddy Anthony, who's a locksmith, and asked him to meet me at my apartment in an hour. Here's the thing about my apartment. I'm the sole leaseholder. Brittany moved in 8 months ago, but was never added to the lease. She's technically a month-to-month tenant at best. And the lease specifically states that my ESA is permitted and protected under the Fair Housing Act. Attempting to remove, harm, or rehome an ESA is grounds for immediate lease violation and eviction. By 6 p.m. Friday, locks changed, all her stuff packed in boxes, eviction notice taped to the door, police report filed for theft. Duke is legally medical equipment worth $2,500, including training. Restraining order paperwork started. She came home at 11:30 p.m. from her girls' night, drunk, laughing on the phone. The laughter stopped real quick when her key didn't work. Update 1. The entitlement begins. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. The pounding started. Jackson, open this door right now. I opened it with the chain on. Duke immediately started whimpering and hid behind my legs. What the hell is wrong with you? She screeched. Open the door. You gave away my medical equipment while I was at my father's funeral. We're done. Medical equipment? It's a dog, a dirty, shedding dog. He's a registered ESA. You committed theft. Your eviction notice is on the door. Your stuff is in boxes. Take them and leave. She tried to push past me. I closed the door. She called the cops. 2 officers showed up. I showed them Duke's ESA registration and documentation, my psychiatrist's letter, the lease showing I'm the sole tenant, her text admitting to taking him to the shelter, the shelter's intake form with her signature, and the lies about aggression meant. The older cop looked disgusted. Ma'am, you took his emotional support animal to a shelter while he was at a funeral? It's just a dog, she kept saying. It's medical equipment under federal law, the cop corrected. You're lucky he's not pressing charges. Oh, I am, I said. Theft and filing a false report to the shelter about aggression. They made her leave. But Brittany was just getting started. Saturday afternoon, her mom Diane showed up. This woman who'd never liked me, always thought her daughter was dating down because I work in IT instead of finance like her precious ex. Jackson, sweetie, she started with fake concern. Brittany's distraught. She made a mistake. Can't you forgive her? She tried to have my dog killed while I was burying my father. Killed? Don't be dramatic. I pulled up the shelter's website, showed her Duke's intake photo, labeled as aggressive with a Monday euthanasia date. Diane went pale. She said she just rehomed it. She lied to them, said he was aggressive and abandoned. 3 more days and he'd be dead. For once, Diane had nothing to say. Update 2. The escalation Sunday. Brittany tried a new approach. Started posting on social media about how I chose a dog over our relationship and how she's homeless because of an animal. My phone started blowing up. Mutual friends asking what happened. I posted one response. She gave away my prescribed emotional support animal to a kill shelter while I was at my father's funeral. The shelter was going to euthanize him Monday. She told them he was aggressive and abandoned. I have receipts. Attached screenshots of her text, the shelter paperwork, and Duke's ESA certification. The comments turned real quick. Even her friends were disgusted. Then came Monday. I was working from home when I got a call from my landlord. Hey Jackson, I just got a complaint saying you're harboring a dangerous animal. I explained everything. Sent him the documentation. Jesus Christ, he said. She did what at your dad's funeral? Yeah, no, she's gone. I'll send formal property ban paperwork today, and I'm sorry about your father. But Brittany wasn't done. Tuesday morning, animal control showed up. We got a report of an aggressive dog at this address. Duke was literally asleep on his back, legs in the air, snoring. The officer took one look and laughed. That's the dangerous dog? I showed her everything. She shook her head. We'll note this as a false report. That's actually a crime, by the way. Update 3. The legal consequences. Wednesday I got served. Brittany was suing me for illegal eviction and emotional distress. $10,000. I actually laughed. Called my cousin who's a lawyer. She took your ESA to a shelter during your dad's funeral, he said. Send me everything. I'll handle this pro bono. This is going to be fun. Thursday was her court date for the criminal charges. Theft of medical equipment and filing a false report. I thought she'd get a slap on the wrist. Nope. The judge was a veteran with a service dog in his chambers. He was pissed. Miss Brittany Hayward, you took someone's prescribed emotional support animal, which is protected under the Fair Housing Act and ADA provisions, and deliberately endangered it by filing false reports about aggression. You did this while the victim was at his father's funeral? Your Honor, it's just a dog. It's medical equipment. Would you throw away someone's wheelchair because it took up too much space? She got 6 months probation, $2,500 fine, 100 hours community service at animal shelters, mandatory counseling, restraining order keeping her 500 feet from me and Duke. But the best part, the shelter manager testified. Turns out Brittany had signed legal documents stating she was the owner surrendering her own animal. That's fraud. Additional charge, felony fraud, that's pending. Update 4, the family drama Friday. I'm at the pet store with Duke, getting his favorite treats. He deserved all the treats after this week. When I run into Brittany's dad, Jackson. Robert. I heard what happened. All of it. I stayed quiet. Diane didn't tell me the whole truth at first. Said you kicked Britt out over nothing. Then I saw the court records. He looked tired, defeated. She did this at your father's funeral? Yes. Christ, I'm sorry about your dad and what she did. Then he said something that explained a lot. She did something similar with her ex's cat. Diane helped her cover it up. I should have said something. Pattern of behavior. Great. Weekend was quiet. Too quiet. Monday morning, I got a call from my insurance company. Mr. Morrison? We're calling about a claim filed against your renter's insurance for property damage. Brittany claimed I damaged $5,000 worth of her property when I packed it. I have video, I told them. I recorded myself packing everything carefully. Because of course I did. After the shelter incident, I knew she'd try something. Sent them the 3 hours of footage showing me carefully packing her items, bubble wrapping her electronics, folding her clothes, even showed me taking photos of existing damage on her laptop and designer bags. Claim denied. Insurance fraud investigation opened. Update 5. The Workplace Revenge Tuesday. Things got interesting. I got a LinkedIn message from Brittany's coworker, Melissa. Hey Jackson, weird question. Did Brittany really take your dog to a shelter during your dad's funeral? Turns out, Brittany had been telling everyone at work that I was abusive, that I kicked her out for no reason, that she's traumatized, playing victim hard. Yes, I replied. I have court documents if you need proof. OMG, she's been taking donations from people here, said she was homeless because of you. I sent Melissa the court records, the shelter paperwork, everything. By Thursday, Brittany was fired. Not for the lies, but because she'd been soliciting money from coworkers under false pretenses. That's against company policy. And someone, not me, forwarded everything to HR, including her felony fraud charge. She tried calling me 67 times from different numbers, left voicemails crying, screaming, apologizing, threatening. All saved and sent to my lawyer. Friday, the real karma hit. Update 6, the apartment hunt. Brittany's friend Amy reached out. We'd always gotten along, and she was horrified by what Brittany did. Jackson, I thought you should know, Brittany can't find an apartment. Turns out, having an eviction, criminal charges, and a restraining order makes you pretty unrentable. Plus, when landlords Googled her name, the first result was a news article. Local woman charged with fraud after surrendering boyfriend's emotional support dog during father's funeral. Yeah, it made the news. Slow news week, I guess. But here's where it gets good. Remember how she told the shelter Duke was aggressive? Well, that's officially documented. She's now on a citywide do not adopt list for animal shelters. When she tried to get her own emotional support animal, suddenly she believes in them, she was denied. The therapist she went to for an ESA letter looked up her history, saw the criminal charges for lying about Duke, and refused to write the letter, actually reported her to the medical board for trying to manipulate the system. Update 7, the final showdown. 3 weeks after the funeral, I finally had to face her in civil court about her lawsuit. She showed up looking rough, hair unwashed, designer clothes replaced with sweats. The confidence was gone. My cousin destroyed her in court. Your Honor, here we have Ms. Hayward's text, admitting to taking the plaintiff's registered ESA to a shelter while he was at his father's funeral. Here's the shelter intake form where she claimed to be the owner. Here's where she marked aggressive, knowing it would lead to euthanasia. Here's the timeline showing she did this exactly 47 minutes after the funeral started. But the judge wanted to hear from Brittany. Miss Hayward, explain to me why you felt entitled to remove someone else's medical equipment. It's shed on my clothes. You lived there for 8 months knowing about the dog. Why that specific day? She actually said it. I knew he couldn't stop me during the funeral. The judge's face. I've never seen such disgust. So you deliberately waited until he was at his most vulnerable, burying his father, to dispose of his emotional support animal? I didn't think. No, you didn't think. You didn't think about anyone but yourself. Judgment. Her lawsuit dismissed with prejudice. She owes me $2,500 for Duke's documented value, $3,000 emotional distress, $5,000 punitive damages, all legal fees. Total, $14,500 she doesn't have. But I wasn't done. Update 8. The garnishment. Brittany had no money to pay. She was living with her parents, unemployed, facing criminal charges. But my cousin's a shark. Wage garnishment follows her for years, he explained. Every job she gets, 25% comes to you until it's paid. We filed the paperwork. She'll be paying me back for the next decade, minimum. But the real satisfaction came from an unexpected place. Her ex, Thomas, reached out, the one with the cat she'd gotten rid of. Hey man, heard what happened. She told me my cat ran away. Now I know the truth. He's filing charges too. Theft. His cat was worth $3,000. Purebred Maine Coon. Between us, she's looking at serious jail time. Final update. 6 weeks later. It's been 6 weeks since Dad's funeral. Duke and I are doing better. The grief comes in waves, but Duke's always there, head on my lap when I need him. Brittany took a plea deal. 2 years probation, $10,000 total fines, 300 hours community service, banned from animal ownership for 5 years, felony on her record. She has to report to a probation officer monthly, pay me monthly, and can't leave the state. Every job application, she has to check yes on criminal history. Every background check shows fraud and theft. Diane tried one last time to fix things, showed up with a $2,000 check. This is for Duke. Can we just move past this? Your daughter tried to kill my dog during my father's funeral. Everyone makes mistakes. Taking the wrong highway exit is a mistake. This was calculated cruelty. She left the check. I donated it to the shelter that saved Duke. Last I heard, Brittany's working fast food, living with her parents, and telling anyone who'll listen that she's the victim. But the internet is forever. Her name is permanently linked to woman who surrendered boyfriend's emotional support dog during father's funeral. Duke's doing great. Still sheds everywhere. Still scared of butterflies. Still the best boy. We've moved to a better apartment, used the settlement money for a deposit on a place with a yard. He's got a doggy door, his own room, and more toys than he knows what to do with. My dad would have been furious about what Brittany did. He loved Duke, called him his grandpup. In his will, he actually left money specifically for Duke's care. That's the kind of man he was. Sometimes Duke and I visit Dad's grave. Duke lies on the grass while I talk to Dad. Tell him about the case, about Brittany getting what she deserved, about how Duke's safe now. The entitlement to think she could just dispose of a living creature because of some shed fur. The cruelty to do it during a funeral. The stupidity to document it in writing. The audacity to sue ME afterward. But here's what I learned. Document everything. Trust your gut. Don't let anyone minimize your needs or your bond with your pet. And never ever date someone who doesn't respect your animals. Duke's snoring next to me as I write this. Still sheds everywhere. I wouldn't change a thing. To everyone who messaged support, thank you. Duke's gotten more treats and toys from internet strangers than I can count. He's living his best life. To Brittany, if you're reading this, yes, I chose the dog. Would choose him again, every single time. Enjoy probation. Edit. Since many asked, yes, Duke has an Instagram now. He's terrible at selfies but great at looking confused. Edit 2. The shelter that saved Duke received $50,000 in donations after the story went viral. They renamed their medical ward Duke's Den. We visit monthly so Duke can show the scared dogs that things get better.